Culture is the frame and the lens that we see everything through. It's the judgments and habitual behaviours that we repeat instinctively and without reflection. Like the frame and lenses on a pair of sunglasses, we often forget that they're there. And that's what makes culture so powerful, the feeling that it's natural and common sense. We are part of a shift to a regenerative culture. We're changing our glasses, shedding our old skin. We aim to organise ourselves and to manage without managers. Some parts of this feel strange, like talking in a different language, and the changes can be awkward as well as exciting. This lesson is about understanding and navigating that change and appreciating how self-organising has an important part to play in bringing it about. Self-organising is by no means the whole story in this shift, but the lessons that follow will show how it is important. Our culture as a movement does not spread from the centre outwards. It is truly social learning, multi-directional and organic. We start here from Extinction Rebellion's principles and values because this is the defining statement of the culture of this movement. We'll come back to the detail of the individual principles shortly, but for now, let's focus on how these statements work and how they embody the culture of the movement. First, notice the words highlighted in blue. These are the terms that work as signs pointing us to what we're for, what we value, welcome, what we need, what we're based on in terms of our vision, mission, and culture itself, and also what we're against, what we challenge, avoid, mitigate, and in the case of non-violence, what we non. This is how culture works, by dividing values and behaviours between thumbs up and thumbs down. Once we internalise these values, they guide our attitudes, our discourse, and our behaviour in invisible and thus very powerful ways. There's no need to attend to the details here, but the blue highlighted text covers all the things that we're working towards: mobilisation, system change, resilience, adaptability and learning, safety, accessibility and decentralisation, and those that we're moving away from: hierarchies, blaming and shaming. The invisibility and power of culture is one of the things that makes it hard to change. It's almost as though you come up against unconscious blocks that resist change. Depending on our experiences, particularly in our formative years, some values may be particularly deeply ingrained in our habits and reflexes. But we know, at least in the global north, that the culture that's been handed down to us has to change. You may be thinking, okay, I could maybe accept that broad point, but how does that relate to how we organise ourselves? Well, this lesson, it connects our day-to-day routines in our meetings, our decisions, and our commitments to each other to the broader story of how we're building regenerative futures. We'll learn the kinds of relational shifts that we have to make to manage without managers. Sometimes this will be uncomfortable. With our shared vision of change comes a new and radical accountability that we have to each other. Thank you for joining us in this journey.